Hi, I'm Doug McKinlay and you're watching Adorama TV. Today we'll be looking at the basics of painting with light, a technique employing handheld artificial light to expose our subjects in darkened environments.
Adorama TV presents Stay Focused with Doug McKinlay.
Painting with light is a big topic that can, when used properly, create amazing surreal imagery on a grand scale. But like most things photographic, those grand pictures need to start somewhere, and that's usually the basics. So today, what I hope to do is pass on some of the techniques that should get those interested in painting with light on the right path to bigger and better things. First, let me just say that painting with light, at least initially, is not that difficult. Anyone with a little patience and a sense of fun and creativity should pick this up quickly. It can be done indoors, in a darkened room, it can be done outdoors, it can be used for still life and even for portraits. The point is, there are no hard and fast rules. The more you experiment, the better you'll get. So all the exposure numbers, all the focal lengths I'll talk about are just benchmarks and not to be seen as set in stone. Our equipment is a camera body, a Canon 5D Mark III in this case, a lens or two, although I'll be using the Canon 24-70 zoom mostly, a good tripod, in my case it's Induro, a cable release, a couple of different kinds of torches, with a diffuser or two, which are mostly homemade, and any other light painting tools you can think of, which could be sparklers, matches, glow sticks, candles, and flash guns. The point is, once you have a handle on the technique, you can use any kind of light source that pleases you. Now the camera setup I'm using is a guideline setup only. So because we're inside and are not using any ambient light like street lights or moonlight, etc., the setup is quite simple. I'll start in manual mode with the aperture at f8, the shutter speed at about 15 seconds and the ISO at 100, just to avoid any noise if possible. Remember, with longer exposures in darkened environments and lots of shadow, you do risk the chance of more noise, especially at high ISOs. Camera is mounted on a tripod, cable release attached, and the mirror locked up. Also, once focused on the subject, switch to manual focus. And it's not a bad idea to remove any kind of skylights or UV filters you have on the front of the lens. And don't forget to experiment a little with the camera angles. So we're pretty much ready to go. But just before we turn off the lights, I'm going to go through a quick checklist. Number one, have an idea what you want to achieve. Your subject can be anything, a plant, a chair, a sofa, some tools. The point is, have a think about what you want your final product to look like. Number two, remember the right tool for the right job. There's no point using a spotlight designed for search and rescue when you're trying to light up a pot of daisies 2 feet away. The quality of the light will be affected by distance, the power of the light source, and any diffusers you choose to use. Now, dimmable flashlights are the go-to tool for light painting up close. Number three, always keep that noise challenge in the back of your mind. Even with great improvements in sensor technology, long exposures in the dark can still get noisy. So try to keep your exposures to between 15 and 30 seconds and the ISO at 100. Number four, you won't get it right the first time. Expect to do this over and over again until you get it right. And even more to the point, to get those grandiose shots, it will be a combination of a number of individually exposed images compressed together in the computer. Unfortunately, with our limited time, we'll need to look at that later. Number five, it's okay to walk into the scene. Remember that your camera only records light. So if you wear dark clothing and don't allow light to shine on you, there'll be no problem with walking through the scene, adjusting things, and painting in the fine details. Number six, when you feel you've graduated to more intricate light painting, keep in mind that it's okay to refocus on different parts of the scene between shots. This will help with the overall sharpness of the image. Just make sure to get one wide-angle shot of the scene so you can put the whole thing together later. So, from little acorns grow mighty oaks, photographically speaking, of course. By practicing these simple techniques and having a little patience, you can go on to making truly fantastic images by painting with light. Thanks, I'm Doug McKinlay for Adorama TV. Don't forget, you can subscribe to Adorama TV for more great videos. And we'd love to hear what you think. So why not like, share, or comment on this video? And stop by the Adorama Learning Center for more great tips and tricks.